Sup, Dibbles? J-Dawg back to answer some more goddamn questions. And fuck yeah, it's about time. We got a good day today. We got 4 paid questions all in one day. And to top it all off, the first one, it's technically not even a goddamn question. But the shout out will come with it for it, of course. Christopher Korn, thanks for taking care of my order. Just a tip. Thanks, Chris. My kind of guy. Tipping the dog, just like you would your fucking waiter or waitress. Dog's all 4 tips. He likes tips, tits, and ass, unlike the dudes in Tomb Mold, based on how they fucking look, god damn it. So fuck yeah, Dog digs that. So first goddamn paid question, and I didn't pre-read anything. I just saw 4 in the inbox today. I'm like, shit, yeah, homeboy. So I didn't pre-read them. I just copy and pasted them in here. So this, I'm assuming it's gonna take up the whole video, but maybe not. Hello, J-Dawg. I recently discovered your channel, and I think it's pretty great. I thought it's time I asked a few questions. The first being, do you play guitar? Nope, don't play guitar. Never played any instruments. Never have, probably never will. Main reason, as a kid and shit, part of it I just wasn't interested in being a musician, but also probably the biggest was just time restraints. I was working since the age of 13, so just never, whether I wanted to or not, it's one of those things you just never got around to. And before you know it, you're damn near 40 years old, right? So, no, I don't. I haven't heard you mention owning one, because I don't, but I thought I'd ask anyways. My second question is, do you think people who do, in fact, play guitar or other instruments tend to appreciate more of the musical mumbo jumbo? 100% they do. And most of the musical mumbo jumbo and the gear talk and shit like that bores the piss out of me because I know literally nothing about it. Type bands because they understand it better? And would you cut them slack for listening to something like Tool, for example? I mean, no, dude. And I've said it a million times, and again, maybe it's because how I answer it or exaggerate my stance to get my point across. I don't think anything bad about somebody that listens to Tool or any one band. Only reason I use Tool as an example, and again, you guys, because I've had people come up to me like, "Oh, dude, yeah, I hate to tell you, but I actually like Pantera. I actually like Tool." You guys completely missed the fucking point. It has nothing to do with that. I like some shit too that people would be like, "This is fucking homo as hell." So I understand that. What I was ripping on it wasn't even those bands I was ripping on. The Pantera and Tools, I was ripping on that fan base because they considered the kids at the time, when that was kind of the heavy mainstream thing, they legitimately thought that was the heaviest thing out there, but never heard of Cannibal. And then, well, again, I don't even like to say that because people they might not like death metal. Okay, but these same guys, Pantera and Tool, you don't know about Exodus, you don't know about Overkill, you don't know about fucking Hyrax, Agent Steel, fucking just anything from that shit that was before them. Flat out, these fucking idiots wouldn't even know about Venom and Merciful Fate. Bands that were way before them. And again, that shit isn't underground. Granted, it's more obscure and I guess semi-underground compared to Tool and Pantera, right? But if you were a music fan, just by default, how did you not stumble across it in a music store? And again, we're talking my time, back in the 90s, early 2000s, before this dumbass YouTube shit. There was no digital download. That means if you listen to music, you bought something. You generally speaking, at the time, you bought a CD. Where did you get them? Even ordering online was a thing. Don't get me wrong, because I did it myself, or ordering over the phone. But it wasn't the norm. You went into a goddamn some type of Quanta Hut, a fucking record exchange, or even a Target and shit like that, because they would sell albums. They would have stuff by those bands. I know, I've seen it. So how did you not accidentally stumble across? You stopped at the crappy fucking Tool and the crappy Pantera again because they weren't music fans. Why is it that all the people, that's all they knew? And they're just looking at each other. Oh, that's the heavy thing? Oh yeah, that guy's got it. Tom's got it on. Billy's on it. Joe's got it on. Nobody's got an Overkill shirt on, so I guess Overkill's not cool. That's why I say most of these fucking idiots aren't music fans. But if you like all the shit, from the 80s, you're listening to thrash, grindcore, black metal, death metal, and you so happen to like Tool or something, I could give 2 flying fucks. Yeah, I think Tool sucks, but I mean, I'm not like, what a this guy's a poser. Liking another band on top of knowing the real shit, you actually buy their format, you can name songs, you go to the shows. It's not a fucking poser at all. If anything, you're maybe a more enthusiastic music fan than even the Dawg is. I get that. It's just, what's heavier than Pantera? And they're legitimately like, they think that's the heaviest thing. It's not even talking about the Pantera. It's talking about the sheer fucking stupidity. So a lot of you guys missed the point because I've had at least 20 people come up and say similar shit like that. Yeah, I know, dude. I know you hate Tool. I feel like a canoe telling me that. Why do you feel like a canoe? You're at a goddamn fucking whatever show it is, an underground show. You like underground stuff. You order from Hell's. Why do you feel like a canoe liking a band that I don't? You shouldn't care what I fucking like. I just used them as the example because they were the mainstream example. They got a Tool shirt on. They're coming up to me. This literally exact scenario, more than once too. In freshman year of high school, I'm wearing a Zoom gore metal shirt, the exact shirt, and I've had 2 or 3 times somebody with a Tool shirt come out. Oh, bro, hey, so do you like metal? What the fuck are you asking me if I like metal for, bro? I should be at, do you like metal, homeboy? Because you don't look like it with the fucking gay-ass logo and name like Tool. Exhumed, bloody logo, chainsaw blade, head in the goddamn microwave. That's as metal as it gets, brah. All you had to do is see that cover and be like, that screams fucking metal. And then it says gore metal on it. The Dawg knew before. The reason I checked out Exhumed Gore Metal, the thing is, I did hear it's like right at the same time when I picked up the album because it was on one of the. I think I got them in the same order when I bought the shirt and the CD at the same time, which was generally against my goddamn rule. You can always buy the audio first, then the shirt. But why I did, it was free shipping from Relapse, quick goddamn ship. It was new, it was advertised. But I saw it on the back of one of the Resound catalogs. And I think when I placed that order, I got the sample that had Exhumed on it. Then I heard it. But I just knew cover, logo, and the description they put in there mentioning carcass and fucking covered Sodom, et cetera, et cetera. I was like, there's no way this isn't good. Got it? Fucking punched me right in the goddamn face. Just knew. But a Tool shirt, like again, 13 years old, I'm looking at it, I'm like, the fuck is this? Like that would even somewhat interest me. So that was the only goddamn thing. I was like, well, what the fuck else is this guy? Last question. Which releases do you like by Shinning, if any? Ah, fuck. I don't like anything by that goddamn band. Now, granted, to their defense, I never officially checked them out. I know I've heard something because we've carried it. They were one of those bands when it came in, and it was like that. We're tough because we're a suicidal, depressive black metal band. Where I'm like, dude, I hate to break it to you, but depression and suicide and shit like that represents a weakness, not a fucking strength. So stop acting tough because you ain't. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of that shit I like myself. I just think most bands do it wrong. I think if you're gonna play kind of like the depressive shit and stuff like that, it should have an emotion behind it. A band I thought did it really well, and they're considered just a black metal band, a trendy black metal band at that, for people cause is specifically the album "Born of the Flickering" by Old Man's Child. You know, they had a little bit of singing about killing yourself and depression like that, but it had melody and emotion to the actual music. Most of this depressive black metal shit, it's just monotonous garbage. Like, this isn't depressive. This is just bad and boring. You are depressed by default just by listening to this because this is such fucking goddamn garbage. So I don't know if it's, and I remember looking at the, whenever I looked up, whether it been online or their albums, I remember the songs being insanely fucking long too. And then around that time too, wasn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was Big D that told me this story too. With the dude from Shining, whatever the fucking guy's name is, and Attila. Oh, no, was it Attila? I think it was Maniac from Mayhem. Were they on stage making out? Two dudes making out. The fucking SMOOCH set, dude. That's just a turn off and a half. And again, don't know, why does this guy's a fucking homophobe? It's got nothing to do with that, dude. I don't want to see a husband and wife fucking smooching on stage in a metal set, smooching on stage, guy, girl, guy, whatever, has got no place in the goddamn metal scene. Dude, when I think fucking metal, I think back in the goddamn early motherfucking days of Death and Mansis, when death metal was fucking being born around. You got interaction between Evil Chuck and fucking Cam Lee. They were getting up fucking smooching. Granted, I wasn't there, but I bet any money they weren't. It was fucking just death metal to the bone. That's fucking metal, brah. Or again, just went to that goddamn Exciter show. You go, that's metal. There was no smooching on stage. It's like, that ain't metal. This is fucking, what the fuck? I don't want to see this shit. I'm not at a goddamn wedding. So that was a turnoff and a half too, because you know why they're doing it. Well, because it's fucking blasphemous. I don't give a flying fuck, dude. Pick something a little bit goddamn better than that. I'd rather see fucking just you anally fuck yourself with a crucifix on stage. Grant, I don't want to see that either. But at least you'd make the argument, oh man, this guy's kind of fucking extreme. Shit like that. So you can at least make the arguments. A smoochy set? That's no fucking good, rah. That's as homo as it gets. So that was a standout. Again, don't know if it was that exact band, but it was coming from Big D, and he tends to exaggerate and sometimes get his facts fucking off. But he told me that years ago. I'm like, oh, makes sense. No wonder I'll never listen to this dumbass fucking band. Covers looked fucking stupid. It just looked, it looked like everything that said this is not for a Hemorrhage fan. Could be wrong, but again, I never officially, I'm putting this fucking, what is it, Submit to Death, or, I mean, if we sell their goddamn albums, Valmstad, or whatever the hell it is, just seems like shit I wouldn't care about it. If I'm wrong, if you're like, oh no, dog, you like that Born of the Flickering album, this is gonna fucking blow you away. It's like that, only better. Then I stand corrected and maybe I'll check it out. But again, can't check everything out, and so I'm more selective. And when I see shit like that, I'm like, oh, I'm not wasting my time with this. I got too much shit to check out as is. So never officially gave it a full chance. They get shit out all the time. If you got a smooch set, I fucking understand why. But no one ever seems to acknowledge how good at least Halmstad is. And smoochy boys, that'll turn you off. That makes the fucking dick flaccid in no time. Maybe some of the Shining hate is deserved, but they do have some good releases, Ross. I mean, to be honest, you said why they get the hate. I thought it was the other way around. I thought they got too much love. I see what sells. I see the stats. You get their shit from Osmos all the motherfucking time. Now I'm not gonna say they fly out the door, but they damn sure ain't a fucking barking at the moon dog. Don't have to wipe off the cobwebs. That's for damn sure. Next goddamn paid question. Jeffrey Cusbell. Paid question. He knew it was up. What's up, Justin? Had to get your take on this one. Just went to Relapse Records website tonight to buy the repress of Hacked Up on colored vinyl. Yeah, which, by the way, actually, a Chasing Boy just sent me a fucking text message the other day, and he ordered all the Tish vinyls represses for hell. So we will have those in stock. Now, by the time Relapse ships them out, by the time we get them in and our slow asses get them online, it's who knows when it'll be. But I mean, maybe it's this year, that's for sure. I would hope. And these fucking guys are basically selling a Will Romer Halloween costume with Mortician branded sunglasses and fingerless gloves. So no, I'm out of the loop on that. I didn't see that. I don't think Chase ordered any Will Romer Halloween costumes. So let me get this straight. Like, when you go in the goddamn Halloween store and they're selling like whatever, Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger costume, and it's mask, his sweater, and glove in a bag. You're telling me that there's a goddamn Will Romer costume, sunglasses, what fucking vest, and the gloves in a bag, like, and it just shows a picture of Will Romer, goes Halloween as Will Romer. I mean, are you slightly exaggerating? I mean, I don't even. I mean, other than that's just fucking funny. I don't even know what to say to that. Are they trying to create posers now? I think you guys overuse the word posers. I don't know if that make anyone a poser. That's just kind of like almost, I don't even know. It's just silly. It's beyond silly. I can maybe see at this point, especially with Tish's popularity, and even this is pushing it. If because we got them in stock too, and they do look cool. As they whatever lines doing all those action figures. They did like the Venom character, Bloodlust, the Venom Black Metal. They did a bunch of Slayers like the Minotaur, the Live Undead guys. They did like a Rob Halford one. They did what other person, a Lemmy one. I'm sure they did Ozzy. I just don't think we ever got Ozzy, but they had to have, or somebody did at this point. There's just no way they did it. They done a couple of different King Diamond ones. The action figures. If they were to decide to do a Mortician one, Will Romer, again, maybe a little bit. I don't know if he's action figure territory, but I could see the arguments. I don't think that's silly. It just might be a little premature, and I would assume he'd probably agree. Like, I don't think he thinks he's fucking Rob Halford status or King Diamond status, but they are getting kind of popular, and it's more so kind of a just I don't even know what you would call it, a fucking just an image or something to like the Tish, which most of these idiots probably don't. Just mark my words, too. That's why I told Roger and Will straight to their face. I was like, strike now while the iron's hot. Not going to mention any bands' names because there's a few bands I said behind the scenes. I was like, just watch, dude. This trend, though this band's super popular, they were on our label. It's not going to last. Sure enough, it didn't. Granted, they still sell. We did it, but it's nowhere near like it was 10 years ago. Mark my words, this whole fucking mortician hype is going to be dead and gone in 10 years. Half these fucking poser-ass idiots aren't even going to be listening to them. The real fucking heads, like myself, that know the goddamn, they know they're into the Tish from way before all these fucking idiots and all this popularity and memes and all this other dumb shit. They're going to be here now. They're going to be here fucking afterwards, right? That new album, get it out now. So that way, make the Scott old while you can, because what can they sell? 10, 15,000 units? Probably, to be honest. If they were to crank a new album out tomorrow, you wait another 5-7 years, it's going to be cut in half. I'm just telling you. That's not me being negative Nancy. That's not me talking shit. I 100% guarantee it. This is just a business tip to make some extra Scott old, extra loot. And I know, because, dude, when we put out fucking Hacked Up for Barbecue, the very first 12-inch vinyl by Mortician that ever came out was first the Mortician Flesh Grind. I've already told this story 10 million fucking times. Mortician Flesh Grind live LP out on Hell's Headbangers. And then, but as far as all the albums, dumbass fucking Relapse Records, they're doing vinyl now. They weren't at the time, though. Fucking, because vinyl's cool now. Vinyl sells. That's the only reason they're into it. Hacked Up for Barbecue, double LP, came out on Hell's Headbangers in the year 2005. My very first YouTube video I ever did. I show it on fucking camera and tell a little bit of story time. When we put that out, it did not fly out the door by any stretch of the goddamn definition. It wasn't a complete dog bone, but it took us a good 2-3 years to sell them all. Right around by the time we got the last one is when that hype started. So which one did we do last? Did we do Reanimated Dead Flesh last? Of the albums, I think we did, but maybe we did. Then after that, I think it was Zombie Massacre and Final Bloodbath. But it was right around towards the end when it was picking up. I was like, whoa, man, the Tish is really fucking selling. And then after that, when the hot mic, in probably about another year or so, we wanted to repress because we saw this hype, and Relapse told us to get fucked. They're doing it themselves. They're in the vinyl now. Weren't 20 years ago, but whatever, because they technically own the shit on paper, right? So when that's how I know. Like, dude, this shit is not, trends come and fucking go. And this is a trend. I know for 100% fact, 80% of these fucking, I like the Tish idiots, do not actually like that band. There's no doubt in my mind of that. It's a bunch of fucking posers. And I know, even just going to the shows, I'm like, good, like I said, the last Tish show I was at, 80% of that crowd, and I'm being so generous with 80%. It's more like literally 90%. Never seen you motherfuckers ever. And guess what? I've been to about 5 shows since. Minimally 3 that I can think off the top of my head. Didn't see any of them. Flat didn't see any of them. Where they at? They're not listening to this shit, man. They're flat out not listening. Now, there's a few people I see on the regular shows, too, on the regular in the last couple of years. Little on the young side, or maybe close to my age. Not going to mention any goddamn names. That I know that they kind of like, yeah, the Tish is cool. I like them too, and I know they don't like them either. As a matter of fact, I go so far as saying they're not going to like them. If I was to play, let's just say, Final Bloodbath Session, because it doesn't have any of the intros, walked in the room, the fucking Alyssa from Arch Enemy style, put on Carnage Dark Recollections. She don't fucking know what that is, right? Put the Tish on, Final Bloodbath Sessions. Let the person, I'm thinking 2 or 3 of them by the back of my head right now. They walk in the room, claim they like the Tish. They were at the show. They walk in the room, let 3 songs or so go by. Hey, so-and-so, who we listening to? I'm positive they wouldn't be able to identify them. I'm 100% positive they would not know. So, strike while the iron's hot. Where the fuck did we leave off? About the goddamn Halloween costume. Basically a poser starter kit, if you ask me. Yeah, again, I don't know if that makes someone a poser. I just think it's flat out silly. That's what they should be selling it as anyway. Wish Hells was doing all of these represses, but I guess you guys don't fit the bill. Laugh out loud. No, it's not that it fit the bill. I'll just spill the beans right now. It's not that it's a fucking secret. It's just it was right around the Tish, or to be honest with you, I think the exact one it might have been after was Incantation, Mortal Throne of the Nazarene. See the poster on the wall? Those were extra posters that came with the vinyl we did. Just like the Mortician Zombie Apocalypse. So those were all just all right. So I'm going to be talking about Incantation, Entrapment of Evil. We did 12 inch of that. I think it was Mortal Throne of Nazarene. So that poster, I think it was right after that one where Relapse said, "Hey guys, we're not going to do any more licensing. We're going to do. We're just going to release these ourselves." Now, what happened is I can tell you what fucking happened because when we licensed, what did we do? Relapse, I think, got whatever we pressed, which was generally 1,000 on those. I think they got 10% and the band got 10%, or maybe it was 15-15. I can't remember, but minimally they each got 10%. So if we did 1,000 copies, 100 copies went to Relapse, right? That was the licensing fee. And then they just sell them at retail, whatever it is, $20. So thanks for the free $2,000, like $2,000. So yeah, let's just say that. Let's just say 10%. They got 100 free copies, sold them at $20 probably at the time. Thanks for the free $2,000 to literally do nothing. Sit back and like, so not a bad deal, right? What they did, they saw how well they were selling. They got the ink cans, especially, fucking blew out overnight. And they're like, oh, fuck. The kids like vinyl? We got to do this ourselves. Because, dude, think about it. Why in the flying ass fuck would a classic of classic, banger of bangers, at the time, they're putting out Mortal Throne of the Nazarene on CD. Why in the fuck would you do a vinyl of it? Anybody that was passionate about this music and into this would have done it. Well, vinyl wasn't very popular back then. I get it, but people still were doing LPs. I own LPs at that time, that mid-90s. They were much, much, much more rare. I agree. But GZ vinyl and Erica vinyl, those pressing plants and shit, still existed. So don't give me that shit. They existed. What you would have done is you probably would have done only probably 500 copies. And yes, it would have sold slower, but as a true metalhead fan, you would have wanted it for yourself as you were putting it out, and like justified by, yeah, we'll move them too. It's just not going to move as well as it would have moved in fucking 1987 when vinyl was the format of choice. They're not into it, man. They saw dollar signs and, oh, we're not licensing this no more. That's just what happened. That's not me talking shit. That's not me throwing anybody under the bus. J-Dawg spilled the beans. I ain't spilled nothing. I'm just, facts are not attacks. That's what fucking happened. That's 100% what happened, which on a business side, I can't totally blame them. On a fan side, it's just annoying because the ones we were choosing, we weren't just licensing anything from Relapse. Like, oh man, we see this cash machine. That wasn't that the case at all. Only thing we were licensing is shit that we grew up on as kids. Look at all the ones we did. Look at all the Relapse shit that Hell's has ever done that we licensed and Hell's Headbangers did. All shit that I picked up as a teenager. Go down the goddamn list. Let's see if I can remember off the top of my head. Probably won't be able to. Deceased. Kiddo when J-Dawg was there. My first time at King Folly was in the year 2000. Was on the Exhumed, Symbolic Carnage, Deceased tour. Got my Supernatural Addiction was the new album at the time. It's signed by all the guys, King 2000, 23 fucking years ago. That was when I first saw them. So I was already a fan by then. How old was I in the year 2000? I was 15, born in 85. So I probably heard them at 14, maybe as early as 13, but probably 14. Deceased was one of the bands. Don't even get me started on the Tish. I don't need to go down the Tish fucking stories. You know all that. Balmer, There Was Blood Everywhere. You guys know all that. I mean, I've talked about that several times, how great that fucking shit is. We did the vinyl of that, 12-inch vinyl. Incantation. Got to know that I did specifically hear Incantation through one of the Resounds samplers. First thing I heard was Diabolical Conquest, which we also did on vinyl, mind you. We did that one and Mortal Throne, and then the Entrapment of Evil 12-inch, and then some of the later ones, right? So as an Incan fan, wouldn't I get that? Probably 14 as well when I first heard them. Exhumed Slaughter Cult. That is my favorite. You guys all know what I think about Exhumed. Do I need to rehash that shit? Sure as fuck don't. I didn't hear what you're saying about Exhumed. Then watch my goddamn channel. Watch the pre-fucking videos. You're on the motherfucking loop. You got a lot of back watching, you goddamn it. I'm not re-explaining it. But I've said a million times, Slaughter Cult is my all-time favorite Exhumed album. Said it even to Matt. What the fuck? Where's those Slaughter Cult songs in the goddamn interview? And Gore Metal is my second favorite. I remember when Slaughter Cult just came out, I was fucking pumped. Who put Slaughter Cult for the first time out on vinyl? Us. Granted, it was on a 12-inch picture disc by, I think, Morbid Records. Dawg owns it, of course. Cover's fuzzy and looks like shit, but nonetheless, they did do it. There was no other regular 12-inch vinyl before us. Hell's was the first one did it. We did a double LP with an extra bonus rehearsal on there. They're in saw blade vinyl. Showed it on camera a couple times. Why do you think we did that? Big fucking fans. What else? We wanted to do Nile and shit like that. That was after, well, not even get started on that. I've been wanting to do it for years, but don't even get me going. By the time we would have gotten to it, they did it themselves, and then there was shortly after we were cut off. What are some other relapses? What other ones am I forgetting? All of that, but whichever ones they are, you can go down the list. Yep, grew up on that. 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 Why do you think we weren't doing shit like Today Is the Day or Benum or who were other bands they were releasing at that time in the time that gore metal and shit was coming out, late 90s, early 2000s? Soylent Green. We could have picked anything. Why do you think we didn't? We weren't just doing anything because a cash grab had nothing to do with that. It had to do it because it was fans of it and passion. Like, yeah, and hell doesn't exist. Because again, when we started doing it, Hacked Up for Barbecue, like I said, it was kind of a fucking dog bone. Vinyl wasn't even popular yet. We just wanted it for ourselves. We're like, yeah, you know what? Our exact line around here was, let's just do it because I really want it for myself, and it will eventually move. That was our motto. The prime prerogative was not to make money. That's why the fan side is it's slightly fucking annoying. Business side, I get it from their end. Fan side, makes my dick itch. Comes with surgeon, you know what I do. But I got about to get in the morning later, goddamn it.